Today we're going to talk about giving your dog a really good smile. So dental care is not only important for us, but it's important for our dogs as well. We often hear people talk about doggy breath. That means something's going on inside their mouth that isn't so savory. A dog really shouldn't be having doggy breath. If you smell doggy breath, you might want to go into your veterinarian to make sure everything's okay in there. So ideally, you're going to brush your dog's teeth once a day. We brush our teeth, 3 times a day? So we want to make sure that our dogs are at least getting brushed once a day. So I'm going to go over some options for you, and I'll give you some links in the forum to some of the products that I'm currently using. I'm not going to mention names because sometimes products change. Sometimes their ingredients change. So I want to make sure that I keep that list current. So one of the first things that you want to consider is how are you going to brush your dog's teeth? So there are a lot of things that you can use for your dog. They make doggy toothbrushes that are just like our toothbrushes, just different shapes. There's some that are singular, some that have the little two-sided so they kind of fit into your teeth. There's also the little doggy finger brush. It's a little plastic thing that goes onto your finger with little nubs in there. And then what I use for Dexter, because he actually didn't like those other products. He just thought they were a little too big and bulky. No problem with my last dog, but Dexter was a different story. So I found these, and these are fantastic for a lot of reasons. So they're just regular gloves, but they have little nubs here. So there's actually these little fingertip nubs here and here, and they come in a box and you can get a variety of them. One of the reasons that I think Dexter really tolerates this so much better than the other is that it's smaller. I'm able to kind of get my finger in there versus having that big rubber brush on top. One of the things that I like about it is that little finger brush sometimes comes off of your finger. This one won't. And I can also feel how hard I'm doing it inside Dexter's mouth, and I can really feel where those teeth are. So it really gives me a good opportunity to know exactly where I'm at inside Dexter's mouth. So when you're trying to actually introduce toothbrushing to your dog, it might be a slow process. So we might only be able to put a little bit of that paste right there on the finger and have them lick it off. That's step one. Let's lick it off the finger glove. Great, nice job. If that paste that we have is flavorful, and I'll talk about the one that I use, then your dog's going to think it's very tasty. Once they get comfortable licking that finger and they're going to it, no problem, then the next thing that we can do is stick our finger in their mouth. So they go for a little lick, and while they are, I just do a quick swoosh to one side. Don't worry, Dexter hasn't used these yet. So he does a little lick and then swoosh to the other side. End of story. And once we build up that confidence, eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to be in there and I'm going to do a little scrubbing, because we want to try to hit those teeth as best as we can. It's best to at least get something in their mouth, but we want to really build that up so that we can actually start to get a little scrubbing in there. And even if you can get into the back and behind there, that's even better as well. So the first thing that I like to talk about is just plain old coconut oil. So coconut oil has a lot of health benefits. I'm sure you've seen the internet, coconut oil this, coconut oil that, and everything pretty much is true. It's our wonder oil here. One of the benefits of coconut oil is it actually helps prevent tooth decay. So that's fantastic. The other benefit is they like it. So we're usually able to get in there. It also helps fight bacteria, so that's always good. So at the very beginning, we might just open up that coconut oil, we stick our finger in there, get a little bit of that coconut, and again, just kind of let him lick it off. I love coconut oil as well. We like to use our organic coconut oil, so I have another little jar that I just spoon some of this coconut oil into another little jar, and that's Dexter's coconut oil. The next thing that we have is just plain seaweed meal. Seaweed is great at getting rid of dental plaque. So this is definitely something that we can add into the toothbrushing routine. So what I've actually been doing is I've been putting a little coconut oil on my finger brush and then that seaweed right on top of it. So that gives it that nice scrubbing motion so that I can combine these two in our daily oral care. Now with seaweed, you want to be careful if your dog has hypothyroidism. It's not recommended that they use a seaweed product or that they have some limits to it. So if you have a dog with hypothyroidism, you want to talk to your veterinarian first. The next thing that I have over here is just one of our sprays. So just like with everything for our dogs, it's really important that we're reading that ingredient panel, because you'd be surprised at how much garbage is inside both dog toothpaste and our toothpaste as well. So check your toothpaste out too. You might change your brand as well, because when we look at that ingredient panel, you might be surprised at what's actually inside it isn't that great for a dog's teeth. Sometimes there's actually sugars in there and weird flavors and things that are actually toxic to dogs. dogs. So when I flip over this one here, I look at things like distilled water, grain alcohol, peppermint oil, grapefruit seed extract, grape seed extract, thyme oil, neem oil. So these are all great oils that are good for a dog's teeth. Now the spray part, all you have to do is take it off and open your dog's mouth, or just kind of lift up his lips and do a quick spritz. And another little quick spritz. Now Dexter's not a huge fan of the spray. That kind of puts him off. You can slowly get your dog comfortable with it by just spraying your finger and then going into their mouth. That's what I tend to do for Dexter when I'm using a spray. Now when you're looking for a product for your dog, you want to make sure that you're still looking at every ingredient listed. So for example, this spray also comes in a gel, but when you look at the ingredients for the gel, there's ingredients in there that I wouldn't use for my dog. So same name brand, just a different formula, but that gel and any other kind of paste usually has some things in there to make it pasty that aren't hot. So the last thing that I have here for Dexter is actually a chlorophyll product. So chlorophyll actually helps build up bone structure, and it can also help kill bad breath. So something we definitely would like to add into our dog's routine. This one also has peppermint oil as well, another nice oil that's going to help with that dental care. So with these products for our routine, I tend to do right now the coconut and the seaweed as one brush, and then at the end of the night, I'll do my chlorophyll. I'm kind of passing on the spray right now just because Dexter isn't a huge fan, but it's another nice option for our dogs. Sometimes we have to figure out what we can get our hands onto. And again, a lot of these great products for dogs that we like, that are natural and they're healthy, you usually can't find them in a pet store. So we want to make sure that we're really researching all those items that are going into our dog's mouth, and that we really pay attention to those ingredients. When I'm looking at the ingredients and trying to determine if they're going to be safe for my dog, there's a lot of ingredients that I just don't know. I don't know what they do. So I often hit the internet and I look up that ingredient and I type in side effects, or there's a website that I really love that has a great database with a lot of these ingredients, and I can see if it has any side effects or something that I want to avoid. So instead of allowing your dog to have doggy breath, you want to brush his teeth daily just like we would brush our teeth.